Welcome to Tunisia. Between the Mediterranean and the desert, between antiquity and modernity, where seafarers met Romans, Arab cultures met European influences, a place where history is not hidden, but part of everyday life. Join us today on a journey through a country that is far more than just sun and sand. In northern Africa, Tunisia is the northernmost country on the continent, only a few kilometers separated from nearby Italian islands, a location that has shaped the country for thousands of years. Early on, Tunisia developed into an important hub between Africa, Europe, and the Near East. Carthage, one of the most powerful empires of antiquity, was founded here, an empire that even challenged Rome before it ultimately fell. After the fall of Carthage, the territory became part of the Roman Empire. To this day, the Roman ruins in Tunisia rank among the best preserved outside of Europe, a testament to the significance this region once held. With the spread of Islam in the 7th century, the country changed fundamentally. Cities like Kairouan developed into religious centers, while architecture, language, and culture underwent lasting transformation. Culturally, Tunisia is marked by diversity. Arab and Berber roots blend with French and Mediterranean influences, still visible today in language, architecture, and everyday life. Geographically, Tunisia is also one of the most varied countries in North Africa. In the north, green hills, forests, and a Mediterranean climate define the landscape. The coastline stretches for more than 1,000 kilometers, and the further south you travel, the drier the surroundings become, until the Sahara begins. We begin our journey in the north of the country, in the political and cultural center of Tunisia. Tunis is a city of contrasts. Between modern urbanity and centuries-old history, an image emerges that is constantly evolving. The heart of the city is the Medina of Tunis, a dense network of narrow alleyways, hidden courtyards, and historic buildings. Mosques, former palaces, markets, and residential houses stand close together. Many buildings date from different eras and show how the city evolved over centuries. The paths seem confusing, almost labyrinthine, and that is precisely where their character lies. Between the walls of the Medina, a great deal of daily life still takes place today. Traders sell spices, fabrics, and handicrafts, while visitors move through the narrow lanes. Tradition and the present coexist here without displacing one another. Just a few kilometers away, the Bardo Museum reveals a completely different side of Tunisia. It houses one of the world's most significant collections of Roman mosaics. Detailed depictions from antiquity offer glimpses into the lives of past civilizations and show how deeply this region was shaped by the Roman Empire. The area around the capital is also considered one of the most historically rich regions of North Africa. This is where Carthage lies. Once one of the most powerful cities of antiquity, founded by the Phoenicians and later the center of a wide-ranging trading empire. Today, it is mostly ruins that define the scene. Remains of thermal baths, villas, and temple complexes are scattered along the coastline and offer insights into a time when Carthage ranked among the most important cities in the world. The location directly on the sea enhances the effect of these sites. Between pine trees, open spaces, and views of the Mediterranean, an unusual combination of history and landscape takes shape. Just a few minutes away lies Sidi Bou Said, a place that stands out clearly from the rest of the region. White houses with blue doors and windows line the hillsides and create ideal photographic subjects. Clear structures, narrow lanes, and a uniform appearance give the village an almost staged tranquility. The color scheme is no coincidence. It is deliberately chosen and strictly regulated. It ensures that the character of the place is preserved to this day. Cafes, small squares, and viewpoints define the scene and make Sidi Bou Said one of the most well-known places in the country. The surroundings of Tunis present two extremes in close proximity: the remnants of an ancient world power and a place that captivates through its simplicity. Along the east coast, Tunisia reveals its most accessible side. Wide, sandy beaches meet historic cities whose life has been shaped by the Mediterranean for centuries. Somewhat southeast of Tunis lies Hammamet, one of Tunisia's best-known coastal towns. This side of the country is distinctly shaped by the Mediterranean. The city sits directly on a wide bay whose beaches stretch for many kilometers. Fine sand, calm water, and a mild climate make this stretch of coast one of the most accessible in the country. Rising directly at the edge of the old town is the Kasbah, a historic fortress whose walls offer sweeping views over the sea. Luxury resorts stand next to ancient city walls, a contrast that perfectly mirrors Tunisia's development. Further south lies Sousse, a city that connects history and coastline in a distinctive way. The Medina of Sousse is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is surrounded by a massive city wall. Within these walls, craftsmanship takes center stage. Here you will find numerous small workshops where carpets, ceramics, and intricate metalwork are produced. Compared to Hammamet, the old town here feels more authentic and less adapted. The lanes are narrower, the structures more complex, and everyday life more present. A central landmark is the Ribat of Sousse. A ribat is an Islamic historical fortress from the early Middle Ages, and this one served both military and religious purposes. From its towers, a view opens over the old town and the coast. The Great Mosque also lies directly against the city wall and displays a plain yet impressive architecture. It forgoes elaborate ornamentation and thus appears almost monumental. Not far from Sousse, Monastir sits on a peninsula and impresses above all with one structure, the Ribat of Monastir. A massive fortress complex directly on the sea, whose walls have dominated the cityscape for centuries. It is among the oldest and most significant of its kind. Between the massive walls, towers, and courtyards, the role that defense and protection played in this region becomes clear. Directly next to it stands the mausoleum of Habib Bourguiba, a monumental building with a golden dome and symmetrical architecture. It commemorates the country's first president, who brought about independence from France. A little further into the center, between dry plains and open landscapes, the past increasingly takes center stage. Roman cities, religious centers, and archaeological sites define the scene. In the middle of an otherwise unremarkable setting rises one of the most impressive structures in North Africa. The amphitheater of Djem is among the largest in the Roman world. Its dimensions surpass most of the well-known arenas of Europe and hint at the importance this place once held. Massive stone arches, open terraces, and a clearly structured oval define the complex. Inside, the scale becomes especially tangible. Here, where gladiatorial combat once took place, rows of seating rise across multiple levels and create an architecture that survives to this day almost completely intact. Unlike many structures of this scale, Djem feels less crowded. The surroundings are quiet, almost empty, which only heightens the impression. The amphitheater stands isolated in the landscape and shows how far the Roman Empire once extended, and above all, what traces it left behind. Kairouan, further into the African interior, ranks among the most important cities in Islam and holds a special status in the country to this day. At its center stands the Great Mosque of Kairouan, a flagship mosque of the Islamic world. Massive walls, a spacious courtyard, and a distinctive minaret define its appearance. The courtyard is framed by colonnades with arches, some of which originate from Roman and Byzantine structures. Kairouan remains an important pilgrimage site to this day. Here, the focus is not on spectacle, but on living tradition. A little to the side, a completely unknown chapter of the country's Roman history reveals itself at Spatla. The ancient city, once known as Sufetula, lies embedded in an open landscape and appears unassuming at first glance. Hard to imagine that we are still in Tunisia. The well-preserved streets, squares, and temple complexes allow the original urban planning to be recognized to this day. Particularly striking is the capital with its 3 temples. They stand side by side in an unusually symmetrical arrangement, a feature that sets them apart from many other Roman cities. The ensemble is completed by Duga. The site lies on a hill and offers sweeping views over the surrounding landscape. The location alone makes clear that this place was chosen for strategic reasons. Within the city, numerous structures have survived. A theater, temples, thermal baths, and residential houses can be clearly identified and convey a complete picture of the urban structure of that time. The Roman theatre blends harmoniously into the terrain and is still used for events today. The ancient sites of Tunisia speak of the greatness of past civilizations, from the magnificent amphitheater of Djem to the impressive ruins of Duga. In Kairouan, the spiritual significance of Islam becomes palpable, while Spatla fascinates with its Roman temples. Each of these places offers a unique glimpse into the past of North Africa. In the southwest of Tunisia, the landscape changes fundamentally. Fertile regions give way to dry plains, until finally the largest hot desert on Earth reveals its extreme expanse. Chott El Djerid is one of the most extraordinary landscapes in Tunisia. This vast salt flat stretches across large parts of the southwest and looks almost like an endless desert at first glance. But instead of sand, bright, immense surfaces dominate the scene. In summer, the lake dries out completely and leaves behind a hard salt crust that spreads across the ground in geometric patterns. In winter, water can collect in places, reflecting the sky and transforming the plain into a smooth surface. A landscape reduced to the essentials. Tozeur lies directly on the edge of the vast salt lake. This small city is considered the gateway to the Sahara and connects urban life, oasis, and desert like almost no other place. The surroundings are shaped by one of the largest palm groves in Tunisia. Thousands of date palms extend along watercourses and create a green structure in the middle of an arid region. The city itself stands out above all for its architecture. Many buildings are made of mud bricks arranged in geometric patterns, creating a uniform appearance. A place that makes clear how people have adapted to extreme conditions. Chebika also forms a strong contrast to the surrounding dryness. This oasis lies at the edge of a mountain range near Tozeur and is fed by springs that carve their way through the rocks. Palms, small watercourses, and natural pools create a green structure in an otherwise barren environment. Above the oasis lie the ruins of an old village, abandoned after severe flooding. Paths lead along the rocks to viewpoints from which the entire landscape can be surveyed. Not far from Chebika, the Midez Canyon unfolds. a surprisingly unusual landscape. At the Algerian border, deeply carved gorges cut through what is otherwise open terrain and create a completely different image than the surrounding desert. Steep rock faces drop away abruptly and form narrow valleys that stretch for kilometers. From the viewpoints, wide vistas open over the rugged landscape. In the middle of the desert south of the Great Lake lies Ksar Gilan, one of Tunisia's better-known oases. Its surroundings are dominated by tall sand dunes that constantly shift with the wind. Nearby are also the remains of a Roman fortress, showing that even this remote region was once part of larger trade routes. Ksar Gilan feels isolated, almost secluded, the perfect transition to our final chapter. In the southeast of Tunisia, the country reveals what many consider its most impressive side, and for many, the most beautiful region in the entire country. Desert, traditional architecture, and coastal landscapes. Dry plains, an offshore island, and Berber villages. Here, Tunisia truly has it all. Matmata is one of Tunisia's most unusual places. The so-called troglodyte houses lie not above, but below the ground. Large circular courtyards are dug into the earth, from which rooms lead into the walls. This construction method protects against extreme heat and ensures a balanced climate inside. From the outside, many of these complexes appear unremarkable. Only upon entering does it become clear just how complex the structures actually are. The houses are partly still inhabited today and offer insight into a way of life passed down through generations. Tataouine lies southeast of Matmata in a dry, open landscape and forms the center of the Southeastern region. Unlike Matmata, the city is less known for underground cave houses and far more for its ksur, old storage fortresses that served to store supplies. These complexes were often built on hills and provided protection against attack at the same time. In this part of southern Tunisia, there are more than 200 ksur. The most famous is Ksar Ouled Sultan. Multi-story structures extend around an open inner courtyard and form a closed, almost fortress-like system. The individual chambers, known as ghorfas, were built one on top of the other and served for the storage of provisions. Staircases and narrow passages connect the levels and create a complex yet functional architecture. The Berbers shaped the south of Tunisia for centuries with their own culture and way of life, and these ksur served them as protection in uncertain times. Their resilient traditions and unique desert architecture mean we can still experience these structures today. Less than 100 kilometers further, Tunisia already reveals a Mediterranean face. In Djerba, an island that differs markedly from the mainland. This island brings all of Tunisia together in one place. Visitors can stroll through blue and white alleys or along endless markets, ride a camel or horse into the sunset, or enjoy various activities on the sea. The island combines Mediterranean life with North African roots and creates its own identity in doing so. Particularly popular here are windsurfing or a boat trip on a catamaran. The synagogue offers a further highlight with its blue columns, a place that radiates calm and deliberately sets itself apart from the rest of the country. A perfect ending to our video about the Pearl of North Africa. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed our video. If so, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And let us know which country we should feature next. Until next time.